the spiritual path has not, it is not a linear line from individual ego awareness of consciousness to the view of Parampurusha, to the melting of awareness and consciousness into the divinity. It is a path that is up and down, up and down. There are highs and there are lows. There are pitfalls. Sometimes those pitfalls can take a long time to work through if there is attachment. The perception that your I feeling is your identity, that your consciousness abides in this I feeling, and that you look out of the eyes, you see out of the eyes of the body, you hear out of the ears, that the body is your self. This self-aware consciousness that is you becomes merged into this physical incarnation. And you believe yourself to be the thoughts and feelings and experiences of your lifetime and the body you inhabit. The body that was once just a babe in the mother's arms, so small, yet you felt it was you. Then it grew and grew, went through so many stages, so many experiences that you assumed to be you. You were a child playing, and you learned from your experiences. You were a young man, a young woman, finding your way in the world, and you learned from your experience. Consciousness, aware intelligence, has identified as your I feeling, has identified as the body that you inhabit, has identified as all of the experiences you have had and the mental assumptions, judgments, and conditioned thinking that have arisen from all of these different experiences and from your embodiment in a human form. All of this has made who you think you are, your identity. Then you feel a restlessness inside, a disturbance of peace and happiness, and all the things you have grabbed for in your life are not making you entirely happy. And you turn to spirituality to find a deeper truth. So you learn ideas, you learn beliefs that expand your definition of self to something deeper, something more profound. And in this, you feel some excitement, some hope that there is something more. And one day you meditate and you experience something, some blissful feeling, some vision, some peace of mind, some calmness. And you feel, there is something more. There is something profound that I can touch. And all of these things I've been studying, they're true. And you begin to feel that you can find the numinous, can become connected to it. So your identity expands. You begin to feel, you begin to believe that there is more to you than your sensory experience, your body feeling, and the thoughts in your mind, and your reactions to past experience. You begin to feel that there is something more. You believe in this. That is the first step, to believe that you are something greater, that there is something more. So the first step is to train the mind in right knowledge, right understanding, to have a feeling that you are truly a part of something larger, something great. And when you have those little experiences, even if they're short, in your meditation, or perhaps out in nature or other circumstances which elevate the mind, it begins to affirm these beliefs, and the beliefs become more solid. The beliefs in the transcendent self, in the God self, in the self of yourself, and in self-realization, that there is the potential to realize this divine nature, that you can transcend the body-mind identity into a deeper aspect of self, that which is universal, transcendent, omniscient. So first you train the mind to understand, then the feeling experience comes, and you believe what has been theoretical. It becomes not so theoretical, it becomes something tangible, something rare but beautiful. Yet it maintains a rarity until the day comes when you realize that this is not the rarity. This is the truth, which transcends all. And your mind slowly, slowly, from frequent association, begins to come closer. You begin to feel you are part of something great, something more. Your conscious, aware intelligence begins to feel and associate with infinite being. And the more these moments of association come into view, not only does your belief become solid, your direct experience grows in magnitude. And as direct experience grows in magnitude, the ability to perceive the shower of grace that is always falling on you grows. And you feel a love growing in your heart for this divine presence, for this divine being. And soon that love becomes so great that it is more powerful than any other force in your life. And as that love grows and becomes more impassioned, other attachments begin to be less impactful. And your attachment to the divinity becomes most important. And this happens because the divine is revealing itself to you. You are feeling the shower of grace. Your mind has opened. Your heart has opened. And in that opening, you feel this love and you let go. You let go of the identities you have held to, the judgments you have held to, the beliefs you have held to, the belief in your separateness, the belief in your rational thinking, the belief in your pain and duality. And as you let go of this, and you allow the infinite to flow into you, you find that surrender of everything you have thought or believed, all identities you have held to, are surrendered to the infinite one. And that love infuses you, permeates you. That grace flows into you. In the empty space that surrender invokes, that love flows in. Your consciousness, letting go, your aware intelligence, the knower, your knowingness of all that you have experienced, that which knows, blends in to the cosmic one. Over time, that association grows in magnitude, and it becomes easier and easier to find the way to melt into the one. Until the day comes when there is only the one, and the identity of the small self has been absorbed in the knowledge that there is no separation between you and all that is. Though you live in a body and in the world, you feel yourself in every living being, and in your own body. You feel yourself in the sky and in the earth, in a blade of grass. The identity of self moves out. You are everywhere, and all is within you. And there is a love and a peace that abides eternally, unchanging, immortal, eternal self. The dream of creation rises and falls within your being, yet you remain unchanged, infinite, immortal. This self when touched over and over, can become the self of yourself. When you let go, that divinity is there, underneath, behind, just hiding, always there. It is your own essential nature. But the path to this realization, this lasting realization that dissolves the idea of your separateness, that dissolves the association that you are the doer of actions and the receiver of actions. That is dissolved with knowledge, true knowledge, not just of the mind and the intellect, but deep knowledge, knowingness of the eternal, infinite beingness. When that becomes dominant, the ego is dissolved into the self. And there remains only the one. Yet the ego does not die easily. It does not let go and surrender without a little bit of fight. Trying to hold on to the identity of your experience, your beliefs, your constructs, the way you have known reality to exist. The body's influence, the mind's influence, conditioned knowledge, conditioned thinking, all draw you back into old patterns, old habits of thought, old beliefs, and you find you struggle. And sometimes you meditate so much and you go, why isn't it better? I'm meditating so much. But the meditation is drawing out the poison, the misunderstanding from the subconscious mind, where all of these sanskaras, all of these reactions to past actions have been stored. They are being drawn out as this aware, intelligent self moves into the subconscious and through the subconscious into the superconsciousness. These patterns, these sanskaras that have been stored, rise to the surface and play out in the mind and in life. And for a time, you may find that your awareness is wrapped up in some issue, even though you have made so much spiritual progress. Suddenly you feel as if you are back to base one. You are struggling with this or that. Where is the realization? You can become frustrated with spiritual life. For it takes courage, it takes vira, it takes courage to face these inner demons, these mental tendencies that have been held within you from past experience, and to unwind the cords of connectedness to all of these different fears, anguishes, resentments, pain, and hurt. How to unwind these cords, how to be free of these impediments that surface in the mind. And sometimes when meditating, they may surface even more because you are uh, the conscious, intelligent awareness is not running. It is settling back. And so you notice that which might otherwise go unnoticed. How do you resolve this? Do you know? How have you resolved this? How have you dealt with the impediments that come and arise in the mind? Grab your consciousness and your awareness and pull them into it. They may play out in your life for a short time, or they may play out for lifetimes. It is up to you. They come, they arise. They dominate the mind. You are influenced by external circumstances, beliefs of those around you, cultural beliefs, beliefs of a group, identity. All these beliefs influence you. How to separate yourself and find the real identity within you. To let go of these superficial beliefs, understandings, and engagements of consciousness. When you sink deep in surrender to the Infinite One, you begin to feel that one abides in all beings. That one abides in you. There is only the one. That one does all the actions, receives all the actions, is the act itself. There is nothing outside of the infinite God self, the divinity within and without. There is no within and without. There is only the infinite one. And when the mind rests in this, these troubles go away. They are insignificant by comparison. So you may artificially ideate in this way, taking actions until such a time as the deeper understanding really comes in the mind. And you see that there is only one doer, only one cosmic progenitor, playing out the play of creation, the shadow and the light, the darkness and the brightness. And you begin to identify under that light and dark. You begin to identify with that subterranean flow of being, awareness, knowingness. You realize all that you are is composed of the infinite. There is only this infinite consciousness, nothing else. One by one, the conditioned mind, the reactions to actions flow in, dissolve them in true knowledge of the eternal nature of the self. As attachments arise, dissolve them in vairagya, in true detachment, which is love, unconditioned for all beings. It is not a withdrawal of love, but an expansion of love that creates true detachment. Step by step, you walk forward. You fall into pits. You pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and climb out. Until one day, you sit quietly on the doorstep of your beloved, and you enter in and return home.